Hi, peeps. I'm Auriel Grace, and this is a spiritual show. So, tonight we're talking about water. Yes, sacred water. So, I'm going to give a couple of examples and we're going to bless some water. So, make sure you have a glass of water near you. Okay. So, we're going to do that. And I want you to taste the water and let me know what it tastes like. Okay. So first, my book, let me see, Angels, it's back there, a psychic story. The Kindle version is free on Amazon right now. So go check that out. There's links all over social media, or you can just go to Amazon and put in Angels, a psychic story. Click, search, and there it is. Okay. So go ahead and go over there, run, jump. I think today is the last day of the sale. I think so. Anyway, all right. So I have $50 Friday on Friday. I have 2 appointments left on Friday in the afternoon. So if you would like a reading, 50 it's a reading and energy work for $50 on Friday, the 18th. Please send me an email at a gang of girls inc at gmail.com and I'll book you in. Okay. So I had to move my blog. And it took me a while, but I got it done. So for those of you who've been looking for it, it is on my website. Click on the Clarity 101 tab. Go to aurielgrace.net, click on the Clarity 101 tab. You'll see the blog. It's I update it every week on Monday or Tuesday. And so it usually has this video that we're, doing right now and and the notes that I use for the show. Okay? All right. Because some of you are like, oh, you only send one newsletter out a month. Yes, I do. So if you want a newsletter, you can go and sign up for that on my website too. So that goes out once a month at the beginning of the month. All right. So I've said that. Um, so the retrogrades have ended, and I promised to talk about this tonight because a bunch of you have asked me, and you've had a hard time with things going awry. So all the planets I believe are direct right now. Yay! So we're still in the shadow of Venus and Mercury retrograde. So we're still in the shadow. So just be aware of that. Okay, so you're going to start to feel things kind of moving forward a little bit more now, right? And on the 17th, Mars goes into Leo. Yes. That means you won't feel like you're walking through mud anymore. Hey, Mom. So, hi, Mary. Yeah, so we're going to do some sacred water tonight. Mary, get your glass of water, everybody. All right. So, um, because of the astrology, right, things have been kind of moving kind of slowly, but you'll see that things start to pick up and it's going to get better. Some of you are worried about things going on in the United States. Take a breath. Okay, so we've been talking. Hey, Eve. So we've been talking about Pluto and Aquarius, right? So Pluto and Aquarius, we have been moving towards this for a while, and we've seen some of the crazy stuff that's been happening. Well, guess what? It's crazy now. It's going to get crazier. Remember, Pluto and Aquarius happened during the Revolutionary War for the United States and the Revolutionary War in France, and some other things that happened around the world 250 years ago. And so this is like happening now. So the question that you want to ask yourself is the question that they asked themselves back 250 or 300 years ago is, what do you want to change? What do you want to change in your life personally? And what do you want to see change happen around you? What do you want to change? Right? This is a time of like huge historical, it's crazy. It's going to be fun. We're going to be witnesses to a lot of change. I know a lot of you are worried about the blonde guy, but don't worry about him so much. Yeah, things are going to shift and change this summer. You're going to see some shifting and changing this summer. You're going to see some shifting and changing this fall. It'll be okay. Instead, if you have stock and whatnot, take it out and put it in like a high interest yield savings account or something. Okay. To save what you need to. Do something, talk to a financial planner, something like that to help you with your money thing. All right. Please do not hoard food. No hoarding food. Okay. If you buy extra food and you know you're not going to use it, take it to the food banks. They need food. They need help. All right. Make plans. Everybody should have been making plans last year. Make some plans. Start doing it. If you have a financial thing, talk to a financial planner, go to your bank, talk to them. All right? Okay. So, Pluto in Aquarius is going to last for the next 20 or so years. Buckle up. Don't go into fear. Instead, make plans. All right? Because this is going to be going on for a while. And you want to be secure wherever you are. And when we have a plan and we have knowledge, we're a lot calmer, right? We got it together. So we have a plan. Make sure you have a plan, right? Okay. All right. So I'm pretty excited because Venus went direct yesterday. Yay! So I'm really excited about that. Mars will go into Leo on the 17th. Yes. So those of you who like to buy lottery tickets, do it now. All right. Okay, so we're talking about sacred water. And we're going to talk about sacred not water in the wilds. Okay, so I have lived and visited almost every state except the northern ones because I really don't like to be cold. That sucks. But water is sacred. We all carry around water, and we need it. I know, we are we are 50 to 70% water, just us, you know? And so water is sacred. Some people call it blue gold, especially if you live in the desert. Yes. It's a desert. You gotta watch out for that water. Water is fierce and it can flood, as we've seen really this year, lots of flooding going on, lots of crazy water stuff going on. So, those of you who own houses, make sure you have good gutter systems. Catch the water. Catch your water. You can use the water to water your gardens, water your plants. Make sure that in your town or, hey, Lisa. So, make sure that you have a water catch system if you have your own home. Use that water. All right. Okay. Don't drink your water yet, Mom. Wait until the end of wait. Okay. So when I lived in Hawaii, there the Hawaiians are so cool because everything is sacred. And they have really sacred places and they actually are very careful where they build things. You know, Um, they'll build they'll build a highway all the way around a sacred place. They will not disturb it. So if one of their kahunas say, "You can't do anything with this, like, leave it alone," they will. They don't move bodies and stuff like that. They don't do any of that kind of stuff. They go all the way around it. Everything is sacred. And there are some really beautiful waterfalls there. The water is good, it's clean, it's lovely. And all of these waters, and this is when, like, that's when it really occurred to me, like, how awesome water is, and it is sacred because they really think of things in that way. The Hawaiians are really beautiful people. And so from there, I really, when I came back to the mainland, it was a lot of culture shock, but I took that with me, and so whenever I would go to seawater, because in Hawaii too, like there are gods that are connected to their water sources, and so they gave offerings. They would give offerings there, right, to like honor the gods and like give to them because the gods were giving to them their water and whatever else they grew. I know that there are indigenous Native American people that do the same thing. How do I know this? Well, in the Southwest, if you happen to form a friendship with a Native American, it's pretty cool because some of them are not, they're kind of a little bit standoffish. Um, but if you're in the Four Corners area and there are Navajo tacos there, made by real Navajo people, eat them. They're so good. They're the best. They are. I love Navajo tacos. Okay, so the Grand Canyon is a special place. It is sacred water. The Colorado River, sacred water. In the Southwest, there are a lot of areas that have hot springs. Yeah, we'll talk about lava rocks in a second. Um, in the Southwest, there are a lot of hot springs, and in California too. Yeah, there are. And a lot of these hot spring places, the Native Americans would gather and they would do their ceremonies, and they would, uh, some places, like I lived in Pagosa Springs, Colorado, and up there, Pagosa Springs is in Archuleta County in the southwest corner of Colorado. And there is the Pagosa Springs Hot Springs. And it's a sulfur springs. So Pagosa Springs, if you don't like sulfur, you might want to just drive on through because it stinks. Okay, so um, the Native Americans, I think it was the Navajo, no, yeah, I think it was Ute for sure, Navajo, and the Apache. They all would come together by the hot springs because one, they could do their ceremony there, they could heal there, and they would also come together, and that's how some of the tribes intermarried. So they would have those types of things that would happen. Um, so, Pagosa Springs, the mother spring up there is so deep and it's so hot that when they stick a camera down there, like they even made this really fancy one that could like reject the heat and whatnot, and they stuck it down there. They couldn't find the bottom, and the camera melted. So they don't know really how deep it is, but it's very deep, and the water is very beautiful. Um, and it's really, really hot. Like you can't just go in it. It is a great hot spring spot. There's a resort there, and so they've cooled, they mix the river water with the sulfur water for the hot springs. So if you get a chance to go to Pagosa Springs, Colorado, please go to the hot springs. There's also an Olympic-sized pool that you can swim in. It's really good for your skin. It's so great. Um, but they called that sacred ground. Now, there are people, the marketing people say Pagosa Springs means healing waters. It doesn't mean healing waters, because I actually heard a grandma say that Pagosa actually means stinky water. And it stinks. It really does. But all the tribes would go there, and it is a sacred place. And then I think about 40 minutes away, 30 minutes away, there was a cold spring that was close in Archuleta County that we used to go to. The spring came up. It was a natural spring. We used to go there all the time so that the kids could play in the water. We had, boats, canoes, and kayaks, and all kinds of stuff, and it was great. And you could go there for a day and enjoy it. That also was a sacred place because that was where the natives used to go to to dig up Osha root. Osha root is something that they used to help them with staying well. So, like if somebody got sick, Osha. And sometimes they would just chew on it. It didn't taste very good, but they would chew on it. Yeah, sulfur is healing. Yes. Well, there's other minerals in the springs as well. But yes, it's really good for your skin. Don't put sulfur directly on your skin, just plain sulfur, okay? Thanks, Lisa. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Texas is hot. It's been cold here. Okay. So, living there was really cool because I got to meet a lot of people and learn more about sacred water and how to treat it. Remember, take if you have a river, stream, pond, springs, whatever, if you are creating a ceremony close to them, make sure to bring offerings with your ceremony. All right, and offer it to the water. It helps. It does. So I wanted to talk about Colorado because Colorado does have a lot of other hot springs. It has a lot of water there. It snows a lot there, doesn't it, Lisa? It does snow. It snows a lot. And so because it snows a lot, there's a lot of water there. Yes, there are droughts and there are big fires there, but there is always water there. The water always flows, and a lot of times, if there's fire, the water stops the fire. If it comes up against a river, it won't jump. So, going and learning about the water that you're in, because like I'm going to go to North Carolina. There's a place. It's called Hot Springs, and I'm going to go there and check it out. But before I talk about that, when we were in Pagosa, we lived in Archuleta County. There were not a lot of people in Archuleta County because the hills are very rocky. They're rock. So it's really hard to get like pipes through. So a lot of people had to bring their water to their homes, or they would have to get the water truck to come up and fill their tanks. So we wanted to take the fluoride out of the water in our county. And during this time, a lot of counties were doing that in Colorado. They were taking fluoride out of the water because the fluoride that they use for water is not actually fluoride, it's a byproduct. And they call it fluoride, but it doesn't do anything for you, and it can actually make you very sick. And so we did go to the water company. We did talk to the water people. There were a lot of people that went. Oh my God, it was full, and people were standing outside listening to this meeting. And so it happened over a month, and we were able to have the fluoride taken out of our water in Pagosa. This was about 20 years ago, I think, something like that. Anyway, so it was a big day for us because we were really, I learned a lot about nature there, a lot more than I had. I learned a lot more about taking care of like um, our environment, right? The Lucy Prophet books were inspired because of Colorado. And she has a sacred water spot on her property in Colorado. No, I don't know where Hope, Colorado is. I made it up. But there are a lot of places that I talk about that are for real. So, um, I love water, and when I lived in Florida, I used to like try to take the bridges as much as I could because I loved driving over the water. So refreshing and wonderful and healing, right? Water is healing. I've always lived near a water source. And and I love water. It's great. I can't go into pools because I'm actually allergic to the chlorine, and it's it burns my skin. It's really bad. But natural water, yeah, I love it. All right. So when we're talking about, you know, the water, there is a water source here that it's up near Asheville, and I'm not going to go up there until after things get more settled up there. It's called Hot Springs. Because that's what it is. It's a hot spring. it's it's not as hot as Pagosa, and I wanted to do like one close to the West Coast and one close to the East Coast. From what I read, though, this hot spring, there's not that many hot springs, I guess, out on the East Coast. So I checked it out, and I thought it was funny because the Native American Indians called it hot springs, and when the Europeans came over and took it away from the Native Americans, they called it hot springs. So it is a sacred place. That is where the Cherokee Indians used to go to do their ceremonies. And it's near Asheville. It's in Madison County. And like I said, it's called Hot Springs. And there's not that many people that actually live in the town. And a lot of times with these hot springs, you can find them in nature. You can find them in a lot of different places. In Colorado, I knew of places where people would hike out to hot springs and sit in them. You know, the and they're there. They're just all around. You just have to look and ask the people in the area too. Okay. There's also a hot springs book that you can get. You can get it on Amazon. It's called the Hot Springs book. All right. So this one's in Madison County, and the Cherokee used it, and they also used other parts of that area as well. Now it is a resort. And so I'm not sure if the Cherokee are able to use it for their ceremonies, but it is there, and it is a sacred spring. Again, it's a natural spring. It's a hot spring, so it comes up from the earth, and it's a sulfur spring. So hot springs, right? And I'm talking about hot springs because most of us can really relate to them. Um, back in ancient times, people used to go to what places. They would name these places. They would name them after their gods because, they felt like they needed that connection to the creator so that the creator would hear them. And water was great for that because it flowed and people could see that it flowed, and it usually flowed from above, right? It flowed above and down. The Romans moved to water. Um, and other cultures moved to water as well. That's why we throw pennies in fountains, because people would leave offerings at wells, ponds, streams, lakes, and they would throw stuff in there. They'd throw like swords and coins and jewelry and anything that was precious to them to leave offerings for their gods. That's why archaeologists find all kinds of cool stuff in water. So we want that flow, right? We want to keep flowing. And so water keeps that energy flowing of wishes and wants and desires and prayers. So one of the ways that you can learn more about the water around you, and probably not that much water there in Texas, as you said, but when you go to a water source and you're interested in it, look at the history of it, maybe who used it, how it was used, why, right? And, leave an offering there, whether it's flowers, a coin, a stone, whatever. It's an offering, a gift. But that's why we throw pennies in fountains. We're leaving an offering to that God, that water God, for our wish to come true. So there's lots of sacred waters all around the world, and I'm sure you've heard of them, like Lourdes. Lourdes is a sacred place. It has sacred water. It is one of the golden cities of light. And so, water from there, wow. And they even sell water from there now. You can buy it on the internet. Is it truly water from there, though? Something to check out. All right. So I encourage everybody to find their closest healing spot that is water in their area and figure out its history. Okay. Let me know too, because I like to know what you find out. See, Mary's been to Hot Springs, Arkansas. I bet that I don't know what Indians were living in Arkansas, but there she goes. Did you leave an offering, Mary? Next time you go, leave an offering. Okay, so everybody get your glass of water. I guess you could. They use water for, yeah. Hold on. Get your glass of water. Okay. I use blue water. Anyway, so this is my glass of water. I hope everybody has one. So we're going to talk about energy work and Reiki. I know some of you are Reiki people that listen to the show. Okay. Even during the week when you're listening to the show, I know that you are Reiki people. And even if you are not a Reiki person, you can still do this. Okay. So Reiki was developed from Dr. Usai. And he helped us understand really what universal life force is. It is the energy from our creator. Okay, so this is kind of like the same idea as the pink blankets. When we wrap those pink blankets of energy around someone to comfort them and love them, that's kind of like what Reiki is. All right, it is the creator's light. All right, and you can look up Dr. Usai. He is everywhere. And I am a Reiki master teacher. And so I've been doing this a lot. In fact, in my Reiki 1 classes, we do this. We bless water. So, one of the first things we do after an attunement is we bless water. And I talked about this in my newsletter because we're coming up to Easter next week. And so I thought this would be cool if you guys are going to have family gatherings. I have a Brita pitcher. And so when I fill the pitcher, I'm holding the pitcher. All I have to do is like visualize it in light, and the water is blessed. It's blessed with universal life force, the creator's light, right? Okay. All right. So, um, you don't have to have this much water. I was kind of busy. I was like, oh my God, it's 7:45. So I had to run in there and grab some water. I was like, oh, this is kind of full. But you don't have to have a cup this big, but you can still do this with any cup. It doesn't matter. It can be glass, it can be whatever material it is. It doesn't really matter. For those of you who are Reiki people who have had your attunements, Reiki 1, all you need is Reiki 1 because we're going to work with the first symbol. So the first symbol is what? The life switch, right? It's Cho Ku Rei. And if you're a Reiki person and you say that, you're going to start to feel that energy start moving through your hands. So for those of you who are not Reiki people, put your hands like this, hold your glass, and visualize light coming into your glass. You can even say a prayer. God bless this glass of water. And visualize the light coming into your glass. And you see it, it'll be like white light with maybe gold sparkles in it. Remember, Reiki people, say the symbol 3 times. Choku Rei, Choku Rei, Choku Rei. And for those of you who haven't used Reiki in a while, you might feel your hands tingle. All right? Make sure that you use your Reiki every day. Now, take a sip of your water. Let me know what it tastes like. Does it taste sweet? Does it taste crisp, fresh? Let me know. After you have blessed your water, you'll feel it when your hands stop tingling or they stop being warm. That's when the water has been blessed. You can also, like I said, if you have a Brita filter pitcher in your fridge or on your counter, you can do this with the whole pitcher so that it is not, you just do it all at once. If you're like when I get my filter, when I'm running it through the water, I'm like pushing light through it to make sure that the water that comes from the filter is full of light. So you infuse your water with light and then you drink the light. So you're always drinking something that's really good. It's a high frequency. Because what is the creator? The creator is love. So it would be the frequency of love that you are drinking. And what is love? Love can heal all things, right? So remember that. Because, like, some of you, I have done readings for you, and you're like, oh, yeah, I did Reiki. And I'm like, are you using it for yourself? If you are, use it for yourself. It's okay. That's why you've been attuned. That's why you got an attunement. So that you can feel good, because if you feel good, your clients feel good or the people around you feel good, right? Because you're a healer. So remember, bless your water. And there's been lots of scientific studies about blessing water, about pushing universal life force through water, and how the water changes and how you change by drinking blessed water or charged water, right? Because we charge our crystals, we charge them with sunlight, we charge them with moonlight, we put them in our hands, we program them, we do all that. So why can't you do it with your water? And why can't you do it with your food? Creating sacred water for yourself will help you for your highest and best good. And that's what you want, right? You want to feel good. And so let me put this over here. I'm always afraid to spill it. I'm going to spill it. Okay. So we want that clean, clear water. And even if you buy water from the grocery store, like say you're on a road trip or whatever, bless your water. Ma'am, Miss Victorson, you know what to do about that. I've taught you so many things. And I think I've taught you that too. So get it going on. Okay. All right. So this is what I would love for you to do. I would love for you to bless your water this week. Let me know. You can let me know through comments. You can let me know on the blog. You can let me know through email. If you know my phone number, you can text me. Let me know. Keep track of how you feel today after drinking your blessed water and blessing your water all week. Keep track and see how you feel. Let's create a great habit so that you're feeling good, right? And maybe even the people in your household will feel good too. Okay? All right. Okay. So I'm so grateful you joined me tonight. I hope you all have a great Easter. I'm not going to do a show next week, but when we come back, we're going to be talking about animal totems. So let me know what animal you would like to know about. I've got a list. And I think it's going to be a fun show. Okay? So let me know. All right. Well, have a wonderful week. Have a blessed week and happy Easter. And keep your heart open and aligned with the energy of love. We'll see you next week. Bye.